such an asshole.
Good morning, children. Last video for a while at the Northern Command, then we're going down south. Well, maybe I'll do some more videos today. Last day at the Northern Command for a while. And yes, the title. See, here's where the autists are going to come in. And the title is not literal. But let's see if we can understand that it will apply in 90% of the cases. Can we see it's the human test? Didn't Isaac Asimov have like the test for robots? Didn't that play a role in Blade Runner? Neither of which I've ever seen. Am I just speculating on culture and literature and movies that I don't know anything about? Yes, I am. But I will say on the outset, I'm not saying that short men should not date in all circumstances. I'm saying generally as a policy, depending how short you are, probably a good default policy, like, it ain't worth my time. And so let us see if we are capable of nuance and details and having policies, but know when to break the rule. I lost it. Here to go. Where is it? Here we are. Scrolling. Hi, Cappy. You can read the email. Should keep my, yeah. All right. I see you've anonymized it. I am a 30-year-old male from the Philippines. I have, now tell me, ladies, would you like a man like this? Here we go. 30-year-old male from the Philippines. I have no debt, no kids, no wife. Have my own business, investments, and money. I work out 6 times a week with a combination of boxing and weights. It's like Pacquiao, the Philippine fighter. Wasn't he from the Philippines? You know, it sounds like you're doing really good. But I am only 5'5". Womp, 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 womp. Bow. I'd like to end it right here. Like, oh yeah, just throw in the towel, man. Just keep doing what you do, but I would give up any expectations. Now, maybe in the Philippines, what's the average height of a girl in the Philippines? Oh, you're from the Philippines. You're here in the United States. Oh, yeah, you. All right, hang on. Average height, Philippine women. 5'1". There's your answer. I'll give you the average Filipino man is 5'4". All right, so you're a little bit taller than the average man. Average Filipino woman is, well, I'm getting conflicting information. 4'11", and this one says 5'1". So you're good. There you go. Philippines. Go back to the home country. I don't know if you were born and raised in the United States, but there's the quick solution for you. I have found some success with dating, but not with the caliber of women that I want. I want to try dating more attractive women, but I can't get over my height. And you never will. Like, you can get over what? Do you have a plot? Do you have an idea? Do you have a wormhole by which you can get over your height? You're banging your head against the wall that will not break. Yes, you can't get over your height. Stop worrying about it. I'm not trying to be despondent, but I would be lying if I said it didn't affect me. All right, well, first, let's, this goes for all short people or anyone who has it's almost a physical handicap in some ways. You don't control it. I think that's the first thing short men should get with. And certainly it doesn't do you any good to mentally stress over the fact that you're short. My height never bothered me. It never did, because that's the one thing I knew I could never control. I'm like, well, I'm 5'9". That's it. There you go. It's not the end of the world. I know I'm not that short, but yeah, okay, girls would prefer taller. All right, but I never, same thing with age. I never worried about age. I never worried about if I lost my hair. Thankfully, I haven't. But those things, like, man, I don't control that. I don't control, how old I get. I don't control how tall I am. I don't control if I lose my hair or not. So that's the first thing you should do, is stop punishing yourself over something that you don't control and is not your fault. Do you have any advice on how to get over this? Yeah, but that's one thing. If you need help understanding Stoicism, I cannot recommend the book, The Way of Monkey book, enough. Go get it. The Way of Monkey book. Go get that and read that, because I can't even imagine what else you worry about that is outside of your control. Like, if you suffer a mental price, a self-inflicted mental price, self-inflicted mental pain, because you're short, I can't imagine what other things you unnecessarily and wrongfully inflict self-mental pain about. Like, are you upset? If you're Philippines, are you upset? I'm going to assume you have brown eyes. Are you upset you have brown eyes? I mean, even that you could put in color contacts. Or should I just give up and accept that I'll never be able to get with the woman I want? That right there is a very accurate statement. We all wanted a certain woman. We all want a certain woman. Some of us, in a rare exception in case, will get it, but usually what we want is nowhere near what we're going to get. I had, when I was younger, I'll confess something sad and pathetic. When Cappy was a young college boy, I wanted that cool anime chick. And I wasn't all that big into anime, but there was like, if you remember Robotech, but you probably don't because you're too young, there's a character called Rook, and she was this really cool gal and could cover her own. And she was smart and pretty, and she could pilot a Veritech. No, did she pilot a Cyclone? I think she flew. Yeah, she flew a Veritech by that time too. So she was piloting a Veritech. These are all just. I'm totally displaying my nerd credential. I'm like, man, that's what I want. And at the time, because women were screaming, that's when they hit full choir. Was the 1990s. Gen X women like, women are equal to men, and we're gonna do. I'm like, oh cool, they're gonna shoot guns and drink whiskey and smoke cigars, and I'm gonna have this girl, and she's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna shoot guns, she's gonna shoot guns, and she'll be smart and beautiful and hot. She'll like sex. Dude, I'm sure out of the 8 billion people on the planet, there might be a Rook or two out there. But that is just not the case. More modernly, forget Rook, just someone who's in shape. Show me a girl who, already I want a thin STEM girl who's not a Democrat. You're less than 1% right off the bat. So I would say yes, nearly every man, you short or not, you're not going to get your dream woman. That just isn't going to happen. And there are reasons for that, but the short version, women are simply not interested in delivering men's dreams. They have their own dreams, their own thoughts, their own incentives and desires. And I don't know if you've noticed, women, at least in the West, have decided, well, do I live another man's dream or do I live my own? They're going to choose to live their own, which is fine. They have their own life, their own choice. So since that is not on the table, you have to kind of give that up. That is not on the menu. All right. So yes, you should give up that you'll never be able to get the woman you want, but what about the woman that you'd like? And I think both men and women in this realm, I want a Ferrari for Christmas. Well, you ain't getting that, little Jimmy, but we can get you this G.I. Joe figure. What can you get? And for men, less so, but it would still help. But definitely women, what you got to do is look for that hidden beauty. There's a girl who's got the glasses and, maybe doesn't do a lot of makeup. Oh, I had several instances. I remember one gal, I didn't pay her much attention. I can even remember it. I was at Famous Dave's. Dang, I'm going to have some coffee before it gets too cold. Sorry, too late, too cold. Got to heat it up again. I was at Famous Dave's and we're just hanging out, and there was this gal, and she was kind of tomboyish. She didn't really wear makeup, and then I said, hey, I needed a date for a thing. I'm like, hey, you want to be my date? Like, not even romantically inclined, no sex. Like, hey, you want to? She's like, yeah, sure. And so, like the movies, I picked her up. She put on this fancy strapless. I remember a strapless dress, and she was in shape because she was a tomboy and playing sports all the time. She put on makeup. I'm like, my God, what the hell happened? Now I'm feeling something down there. Like, hey, I want to bang. And I was like, whoa. And it kind of taught me, like, okay, don't go for the obvious big tits, long hair, blonde, bubbly girl in heels. You got to look around a little bit. And every once in a while, you'll find that girl where it's like, hey, she's kind of dressed dumpy now. But you put her, if you dress like a girl, like, oh, hey, how you doing? Ladies, I'd say the same thing to you. You are completely blind to any 7 or 8s, even 9s. Like you look at a guy, and if he is dressed like Troy Francis, no guff towards Troy. I love him like a brother, but you're expecting Troy Francis, perfectly coiffed hair, dressed very nicely, well spoken, very intelligent, has the British accent, and it's like, okay, you know what? I bet you there was a time that Troy was cleaning a toilet and he had his duds on and a hat, and you didn't look at him. And so, girls, I'd say the same thing for you. You would probably find a guy you like if you weren't looking for that exactly polished, ready to go, served on a silver platter guy. There's a lot of good looking, like the tradesman. You have to look, I'm sure a girl's mind immediately turns off any attention it would pay to when a guy pulls up in a truck and it's, Frank's Plumbing or something, any kind of blue collar worker. Girls would just, they're immediately blind to that. I'm like, well, look at the guy. I mean, I'm not going to bother telling you about what they really make, but have you looked at the guy's face? Do you see if he's got a chiseled jaw? I know he's got a hard hat, but have you, maybe he cleans up good. So that's one thing you could do, and women could do, is you just got to give up on the guy that Hollywood and the television and the YouTubes told you want, and look at what you could potentially get. So that's, and in your particular case, you think like, I want a really hot chick. You're not getting a really hot chick. You're 5'5", too bad. The other practical thing we talked about in your particular case, and for short men, but you could go back to the home country. There are other upsides to that. We've talked about this before, where culturally you have something in common with the women there, the more traditional, blah, 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 blah. We've had several instances where American men, I don't know if you're American or not, but you're here. You're living here or in a first world country, Western country, and you go back to the home country, and these guys have found wives or girls that they like. It's just, not only do you have a traditional advantage, but you have something in common socially, culturally. So there's that. And then the advice I give young guys here, again, these are exceptions, all right? But you're going to have to start asking out shorter chicks. That's just, significantly shorter. And even then, especially if you're in the West and with the online thing and the dating and the hypergamic or hypergamic, look at that. Well, me, huh? Look at me making words. The hypergamic nature of women brought about by unlimited selection with the internet, you're not going to show up. You're just not. It's going to be a waste of time. So you should really be selective in the women you ask out and even bother approaching, whether that be online or in person. Now, did I have success? Is it possible for a short guy to date taller gals? Yeah, it is. I did it. Most of the girls I dated were taller than me. But that was, God, what, 20, 25 years ago, ranging. And did I have any success with the tall? Well, one would argue my girlfriend is taller than me significantly. And define success. Did I bang some tall girls? Yeah, of course. But usually, was it worth the time and effort I put in? No. Was there much great confusion? Well, I've said it. How many times have I said it before? Things were going great. I was having a good time. It was a taller gal. I didn't think much of it. Like, that was probably another benefit. I didn't care. I didn't really. She's taller than me. I'm not a bigot. Most women are bigots. They won't date a guy that's shorter than them. How do you girls like that? Switching your woke language back on you. Most women have a preference, a choice. They would prefer not to date shorter guys. But I'm like, oh, there's a tall gal I would ask out. Was I charming and did I know how to date? Yeah, I had things going for me. And I would get girls hooked. I'd get them on a date or 2 or 3 even. In several instances where, like, everything's going great. I can't go out. What? Kind enough not even to ghost on me. They just, well, it's not working out. Just say I'm short. That's all you had to do. Oh, well, that sucks. Okay, bye. And but yeah, in the end, a lot of time and effort and confusion at the end, inevitably. Like, what? Why? So you could kind of, and was it worth it? Getting back to the point, was I wasting my time? Yeah, I think I was for most of the time. Most of the time I was. I had fun along the way. So again, I'm not saying look, cute, tall gal, every great once in a while there be chemistry. You're a boxer and a fighter. All right, maybe you get off the ring and there's like a tall gal that's really interested in you. Like, obviously, if a tall drink of water comes by, don't reject her. I mean, take your shot, keep asking out tall gals if you want. But as with everything in life, reel your expectations in line with reality. Align them with reality. uh, so that's all the individual stuff you could do. But in terms of a policy, I mean, and again, it depends on how short you are. If you're short, guys, you should really just give up on dating. I don't mean don't ask a girl out and don't in terms of action, but mentally, you should just be checking out because the mental price you're paying, stressing and worrying about this, it's not worth it. I mean, you really got to kind of view it as luck. Do what you can. Certainly go online dating, set your dating ranges for girls under, 5'2" or something like that. You see a cute girl at the thing and she's really short, ask her out. I'm not saying don't take your shots, but what I'm saying is psychologically, emotionally, mentally, you should really just give up on dating or the pursuit of women. Now, notice I said don't ask them out. Always, but you should and I said, okay, mentally check out, but also be prepared for the chance that you might get married or find a girl or something. It happens. The more you and you've had success, just not with the girls you'd like. Too bad for you. But actor Robert Clary, no relation. He played LeBeau in Hogan's Heroes. Fascinating background of a man, actually. And he was 5'1". He was married for 32 years. Yes, he was 96 years old. Yes, way back in the day, that's when he met his wife. I'm aware. I'm aware. But it does happen. It does happen. Just certainly not in the West, not that frequently, and a lot less so now in the West. So again, in your individual case, you should go back to the Philippines and try and date and court there. But generally, we speak English here, so it's relatively the first world, the Western world. And we do know other cultures because of the internet. Women are becoming more hypergamic. If you're short, yeah, mentally check out on dating. Mentally check out. Still do it. Be strategic. Be smart. But yeah, I'd kind of get like I don't worry about not joining the NBA. I don't worry about, oh man, I'm never gonna be able to play in the NBA. But is there a shot? Was there, I guess, statistically infinitesimal chance? But if I worried about and hemmed and hawed about joining the NBA, it would ruin my life and lessen it. And the good news is that, well, the NBA, I don't have a biological genetic predisposition to join the NBA. You guys have your genetics screaming at you to go get laid and find the girls. But I'm kind of like, yeah, if you're short, it's not as bad as trying to join the NBA. I mean, your statistics aren't that bad, but they're not good either. They're really not. And all I'm asking is for you to recognize that, and that you're again, depending on how short you are, your base policy should be like, yeah, I'm not dating. I'm just not. But if the stars align, like, oh, look over here. Oh, okay, yeah, I will ask her out. But if you take that policy, just kind of give up and realize what is very statistically likely to happen, and you're not going to get the girl that you want, dating is going to be a nightmarish chore and pain and torture for you. You will avoid that, but still have your upside potential of maybe finding a girl. But it's just totally not, you're not basing any of your happiness, any of your contentment, any of your accomplishment, any of your achievement on it. It would be truly icing on the cake. And you're not the first short guy to ask me questions about dating, but I see, and there's, internet play, and all it is, I'm short. Yeah, you're short. Okay, accept it and move on. There's no point to hem and haw and torture yourself about this. Just, yeah, you're short and too bad. Okay. And now are you going to stay on the internet and howl at the moon or woe is me, I can't find the girl? Or are you going to, you're going to go box, you're going to lift weights, you're going to run your business, going to get your money, go overseas, Absolutely. I mean, take every cheat, every advantage, every tactic, every strategy if it's that important to you. But don't worry about it. And for God's sake, absolutely don't waste a single calorie of energy worrying about it if you're in the West. Oh, absolutely not. So there you go. All right, link below is the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. I'll tell you right there, that book is a book for short guys in the West. It absolutely is, because you are not going to get these guys. Yes, you might win the lottery, but you're probably not. So you better figure out something to do in the meantime, because at least in the West, you're not. And if you really want to get married, you're going to have to go overseas. And that's fraught with all their own problems. All right. So you better get comfortable. And guys, here's another, just throw it here at the short guys. All right. Forget whether you're short or not, right? That study where half the women aren't going to be married by 2030, that's their choice. Half the gals don't want to marry, period. It has nothing to do with you're short or not. They just don't. They're not putting men at the center of their lives anymore. Whether you like that or not, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's their choice, right? The whole society is moving away from marriage and from our perspective, men. They tell you guys they don't need you. They should also translate into, we don't want you, except for that guy over there is really hot. I wish they were a little bit more clear about that. And so short or not, that's a trend that you're going to have to deal with. We're all swimming upstream in that regard. So it's not just short guys that kind of face that, but that's already a hostile environment towards marriage and finding these girls. You throw being short on top of it, yeah, you got to find a different environment where women do want to get married, where they do want men, or they would like to have a man around. And so, I mean, it's such a lopsided battlefield or playing field here. You know, it's almost like this. I want to play sports ball with girls, because for all of human eternity, we played sports ball with girls on the field. And now you're like, well, the girls don't want to play sports ball anymore. It's not even that the field is lopsided. It's the girls aren't showing up. It's like, well, yeah, they don't want to play sports ball. They don't want to participate. You got to go elsewhere where the girls want to play sports ball. And then you can worry about your height and all that. But that's a macroeconomic or macro environmental factor you got to worry about. We got any super chats? 305 people to subscribe to the channel if you guys kindly would. Coming in on 100,000. And at 100,000, I stop asking you people to subscribe to the channel. But seriously, yeah, hang on. Where'd it go? Here it is. Look, life ain't over if you ain't gonna get. And girls, you can too. I know you know, like you're purposely leaving men so you don't have to get the menu. Life Without the Opposite Sex. This is for boys and girls. There's a women's menu, a men's menu. I would go and do everything in here before I waste another second worrying about girls. And ladies, it's the same thing with the women. I saw that, Eric. That's Ivy the dog. I get to see her tonight. I get to see Ivy the dog tonight. Ladies, like, okay, you left guys. You go, all right, here. Oh, but I'm going to settle for a 9 or a 10. All right, in case that guy who's getting laid by 10 hot girls every week, in case he gives up that gig and says, yeah, you know what? I want to settle for this 7. In case that doesn't happen, maybe you ought to get that book. All right. We got any super chats? Let's go through. Man, I can't wait to go play ball with Ivy. Ivy the dog. I hope she remembers me. Scrolling. Hey, Jack's in the house. Black Pill. I'm not. This isn't Black Pill. Damn it, Jack. It's not Black Pill. It's reality. Have y'all? Look, guys, the Black Pill is the red pill. It is. Have I been wrong? Here, let me ask you this, Jack. Oh, look, Jack, he's young and still optimistic and hopeful. Have I been wrong about anything yet with my economic analysis? I'm not saying people can't get laid. I'm not saying if you don't put in the work. I look at the data. I'm like, yeah, this is pretty much it. If you're short, you're effed. And I even gave him hope. Like, here's your strategy, here's it, but you got to reel it in with expectations. I don't know why everyone thinks the black and the red pill are mutually exclusive. But for some people, yes, you're too short. It is, I'm going to say it here. Listen to me, Jack. If you're short, let's say you're 5'1", you're Robert Clary's height. All right, no relation. If you're 5'1", I mean, you might as well be in a wheelchair. You might as well. You're going to have to find really short girls to go along with that. It's just true. Look, I'm not one for throwing in the towel, but at the same time, let me ask you this. Let's say it's identical. You heard it here first. A short guy trying to get gals taller than him is like going into the ring and fighting a guy that the girl is going to want to go out with. That's how lopsided it is. To the biological cell and penny. You're 5'2", she's 5'9", she wants a guy who's 6'2". You are going to have to go into the ring to get that girl is going to be the equivalent of boxing or fighting or wrestling a 6'2" guy. Because that's what you're going up against. Is there a chance you win? Yes. Is my money on you? No. And I know everyone, like, you guys want to sell the red pill hope. You want to sell, not even sell, you want to spread the red pill message. Like, you want to spread the red pill algorithm. Here's what you do. You're not wrong. But if you don't acknowledge reality, that hope, just like Obama's hope, ruin a bunch of people, poor people, hoping something would happen. Giving people that hope is going to waste their lives and make their lives more miserable, and something that is statistically likely not going to happen. I don't know why I can't do it. This is why the book of Numbers is this book right here, the book of Numbers. I don't say it's the book of no hope. I say, here are your chances. They're low. Here's what you can do to drastically increase your chances. But just so you know, there's only a 2.5% chance that this is going to happen. Just so you know, 86% of marriages fail either because of divorce or the miserable. But there's that 14%. Yes, there is that 14%. Now, do you want to bet do you want to bet your life on it? Do you want to bet your finite time, effort on that? Or do you want to go have fun and do some other things? Which, as I don't know how many times and how many books I said before, if you go focus on yourself and self-improve, you drastically improve your chances with the girls. Like this guy, he's boxing and running a business. That's exactly what he's got to do to get the girls. Exactly. But there's going to be a limit to this guy. And I don't want him like, you could, I always wanted to write, a book called The Rhinoceros Who Could Fly. And it would show everyone like, oh, you're told all this leftist hopium and like, you can do anything. You're a girl, you're a boy. And it would be about this rhino who wanted to fly. And he goes through like flying reassignment surgery and he just ruins his life because he's trying to be something he's not or she's not. And why not? Hey, if you cut off your horn, you'll be like a giraffe. Something like a really dark kid's tale. And then at the end, it would just be the rhinoceros hanging himself because he ruined his life. That's a little dark and a little extreme, but it's kind of the same thing. Like, you're not a Chad. You're not. Me, Mike, $10. Just like a vintage car, you'll get laughed out of new model meetups. Locate who appreciates your innate characteristics and appreciate your accomplishments. Go where they love you and jettison the sinking ship. Yeah, you got to kind of go. Well, here's another thing, me, Mike. The more hobbies you have, that's an in. Like he boxes. All right, now, are there a lot of girls who box? Not really, but they might be interested. Or classic cars. How many girls are interested in classic cars? Probably not a lot, but there's some. How many girls? I don't know. I'm trying to think of something fishing. Now that I think about it, here's no offense, ladies. Men are just better at having fun than you girls. You girls don't watch TV and I buy crap. I'm like, I like what? You don't do anything fun. How many Danica Patricks are there? Forget whether she raced well or not. That has nothing to do with like, hey, that kind of cool. But yeah, having some cool hobbies and going out and doing it will we'll do that. All right, let's get rid of the spam here. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah, 5'9" wasn't an issue, and I admit there's a piece of me that almost maybe I should do that just so I'm more alike. And like somebody did pay me a while to go on Tinder. I'm like, this is just a atrocious waste of time. Maybe I should go and float a couple balloons and see how, like, just talk to a girl, like, see if I can get a number or something. Although probably that's so outdated. What I have to go ask for? And no, I'm not setting up. I'm not doing a. Oh, here's my social media. F that. I just to see what would happen. Cause yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't. But I wonder what it would be like now. Justin Brink, $5. Hey, Cappy, have you seen No Country for Old Men? Yeah, of course. I was debating on having you video review for fun, a reprieve from the last review you had to do. I'm okay. I'm okay doing video reviews. It just takes a lot of money. And it's not that I'm trying to screw people over. It's just like here's what it is. I'm not being a dick. I'm not being like, I don't have time. It's if I don't get paid that amount of money, then I am losing money for other things I could be doing consulting. I make about $100. It's more like $150 an hour with asshole consulting. And there's other projects I have to do. So if I sit down and watch a movie for 2.5 hours with the review, I could get a lot of, I can easily get $250 worth of production done or make income. And so it's my opportunity cost. When I was poor, like, yeah, make a security guard. Yeah, I could have done a movie review for $50. We ain't in those times no more. And then also there's the issue Rolo's running. It's like, maybe I want a life. I want to go do my thing. I got all these other projects I'm working on that I can't really tell people about. But yeah. If you want me to, I've seen it. I know that movie isn't horrible. It still would have to be $200. It's still. So email me if you're still interested. I'm all for doing movie reviews. That's fine. They're just going to be pricey. And notice how well and zen-like I've gotten. I don't even care if it's a bad movie or not. That Zeitgeist movie was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. But I've trained myself not to worry about the pain that the outside world is trying to inflict upon me. I don't let it inflict it. I only realize it is my time that is going away, and I've been compensated. So whether the movie is bad or not, I don't care. But Old Country, No Country for Old Men, it was all right. I didn't mind it. It was pretty good. A little slow moving for me, but I'd have to watch it again because how old is that? Like a 10-year-old movie almost now? There's some movies that I've seen enough I could do a review, like without watching the movie again, like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. What's it called? One people are not too aware of. James Coburn. Why can't I remember it? Duck You Sucker. It was also known as A Fistful of Dynamite. So I could do that. Rafael Mendoza, $5. Has nothing to say. Thanks, Rafael. Very kind of you. Jacked and Stacked, $5. I'm 5'8", and yeah, if you're short, you need to basically be extremely handsome in the face, and the body should be good, but not roided out. Yeah, look at him. Look at him right there. There's nothing more Jacked and Stacked could do. I mean, and you're right. If you went any more than that, Jack, you probably would start to scare off the girls. But I mean, look, what else? What else could he do in terms of self-improvement that he hasn't done already? I don't know his career or profession, but that's it. That's all you can do. Oh, by the way, yeah, guys, if you want, go ahead and get lifts for your shoes. There's a way to cheat like that. Go ahead, cheat like women do. Absolutely. They get to wear heels. You could wear heels. Who cares? But notice he has a very based in reality expectation. And he does better than the average 5'8" guy, no doubt about it. But yeah, does he get the girl that he wants? No. Yeah, everyone learned a ballroom dance, guys. It gives you an advantage. Jack the Stat, $5 again. There's gray areas, and yes, you can do fine. It's not over, but overall, Cappy is correct. Yeah. Yeah, I think of what you might agree with me on this. It's an issue of how much time and effort you got to put in to succeed. Now, thankfully, I enjoyed ballroom dancing and I got really good at it. And hell yeah, and I made money on it, so I was kind of in the thick of it, just like Rollo when he played guitar. But after a while, everything gets boring, and it's like, oh, now it's a job. And then, oh yeah, after I stop dancing and go, if you don't go out, yeah, it tanks off. But man, sometimes you just want to watch a movie. Jack the Staff, $5 again. 5'9" to 5'7" safe zone, but still with struggle, and 5'6" and under danger. About that, yeah. About that. And that, I'll tell you this, if you're a short guy, they view you as like kind of like a little kid or a speaking struggle. They also want to snuggle. You're the like, you'll be friend zoned. I would love to see, I don't know how we measure it. I would love to see friend zoning rates based on height. Somebody, not me, do the math. Somebody, not me, do that. I don't think the data is out there, but that would be hilarious to see. Like, if you're short, what percentage of you get friend zoned? You're kind of like their little cuddly teddy bear that they left at home. Peter, $5. Dating around the Lake Minnetonka is pretty fun since there aren't any men in the area. Really? Wait, what happened? Did all the dude bros go home? Did they all go to jail? What? Really? I thought there was a ton of guys out there. Yeah, I remember Big Island. That's where the prettiest people in Minnesota come out. They all go to Lake Minnetonka in summer. Been years since I've been there. Scrolling. Ron Suarez, $5. Guys in this space get skewed perceptions and are not out in the field where you'll notice a lot of average Joe Schmo with nice looking girls. You're not wrong, Ron. There's a lot of the virgin towels, and they use it as an excuse. I have never once said don't put yourself out in the field. I've never once said if you see a cute girl you want to ask out, not to ask her out. Because the number one variable, if you go through this, the number one thing that will determine your success is volume. But it's like, if you're short enough, you're going to have to ask out 10 times the amount of gals, and it's going to be pulling teeth. And so go ask out girls, get out there and do it. If for any other reason to get shot down, so you know for a fact, like, for example, I wish I didn't go to the nightclubs I did. I wish I had gone to just one and realized, okay, this is it. Or maybe gone to, like, over the course of my life, 10 different nightclubs and realize, okay, this is it. It's not me. It's not the nightclub. This is all nightclubs. And I think that would do you guys a lot of good, is go ask out 10 girls and then get shot down, likely 10 times. But maybe you get one date. Okay. Then you go on the date and she doesn't talk. Or I guess nowadays you would text and she'd give you one word text and that would fail. And then just realize, okay, wait a minute. I asked out 10 girls. This has been the experience. It's not bad luck. It's not the planets haven't aligned. It's not there's something in the air. This is reality. And that's what you could expect 10 times over if you asked out 100 girls. At least then you know what you missed out on and what your chances were. At least you've gone through that process and experience. And I think to grow as a man, you need to fail. You need to do things you're uncomfortable with. You need to put yourself out there, get shot down in various ways. And so for that reason alone, whether or not there's girl at the end of that journey, that process will galvanize you a little bit. And then if you've done that, fine. Then you did it. You went out there. But guys in this space get skewed perception, are not out in the field, and there's a lot of average schmo with that. No, I don't know where that. I don't know. Where do you see a lot of average Joe schmo with nice look? I see the opposite. I see good-looking dudes with really ugly girls. Of course, that could be I'm in South Dakota and lived in Wyoming, but I've not seen average-looking Joes with good-looking girls. You must be in a different place. Me, Mike, $2. Only speaks truths in sweet words, otherwise feelings. Oh, scrolling. Tico, $2, 5, 6, and it is tough. Only short-term flings for me. Yeah, you'll have success. You will, but not a lot. Nothing wrong with short-term flings either. Osama Abdu, $2. The Zeitgeist was pretty eye-opening at the time. It was like if you were young and you didn't know any better. Like if you came fresh out of high school or college and you're like, what? Yeah, being introduced to central banking. But the people that push it, it's like libertarians at parties who try and tell you about central banking. It's like, dude, like, don't make it your religion, man. The girls don't want to hear about central banking. Guys don't want to hear about central banking. Justin bring $10. The reason I ask is because as I rewatched it, I liked it a lot more, despite how it is indeed a slow moving. It shows how society was like 15 years ago when it was released in Decline of Hollywood. Yeah, I don't know. I'll watch it again if you want to pay me. It wasn't my favorite movie. I did not like how the bad guy just got so lucky. He's got all these hitmen coming after him that are pros, and he just sidesteps him. I'm like, yeah, Woody Harrelson would have got a shot in on you. So would it's Christian. It's not Christian Bale. Who's the? He was in Goonies. Who was the guy? Who was the actor on that one? I forget his name. Did you know, Matt? $2 Canadian. Do you agree with TFM? Besides dating, a new pod is fire. Do I agree with him on his economic analyses. I disagree with him on how he views women's rights, but I understand his argument. I would disagree with the solution, let's just say. No, I would actually disagree on he's a bit fatist. That if you are born this way, you have these traits that are not changeable. And in some cases that is true, but I have not seen that with women. Not all women are mindless socialist voting robots looking for everyone's money. Also, I take an individualistic sentience approach to human rights. Kind of do unto others as you do unto you, and meritocracy. It's like I don't, honest to God, don't care who you are. Did you do the right thing? You did. Then how you were born should have no effect on your rights and privileges within society. But that's a different matter. I agree with him on dating. He obviously has a more dark view. I don't agree with it. Look, one of the reasons I like TFM the most because I disagree with him, but his arguments are not invalid, or I should say, his arguments are not illogical. They're grounded in reality, empiricism, and they're logical. But it's fascinating to look. It's almost like looking at programming in a code. Like, why'd code that differently? But yeah, generally but I think we're all kind of on the same page. Look, this isn't shtick. One thing I wish, just try this as a thought experiment. The premise, you're biologically human engineered boys to keep trying for the sake of society and the tribe and humanity. That's how we survived. And if a man ever complained, it was you were weak, you were sad, you were pathetic. And the environment, nature was so hostile. Other humans were so hostile. Whining and complaining was not only a sign of weakness, but an incredible waste of resources. And I could see, I don't like it when girls whine. Girl complains, I like, shut up. Just shut up. I don't care. Yep, that's a problem. That there is a problem we got to deal with. I'm just old now. I mean, this is not anything to do, but I used to get so angry at traffic, and now I don't. I'm just like, yep, we got to deal with it because there's no reason to get angry about it. But when a guy complains, society in general frowns upon that. Shoot, where was I going with this? Oh, so it is in our genetic nature that you shouldn't complain. And sociologically speaking, societally speaking, when men complain, period, it's unattractive. And that more or less held until a short 40 years ago. Like, you're like, quit whining. Stop whining. But now that the dynamics have changed, men are complaining, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're just a loser. You can't get laid, incel, whatever else." But have you ever stopped and said, "Wait a minute, wait a minute. We're all whiners and complainers. We're all wrong." And here's where I would allow you that this would be different. It's different this time. Look, it's not like men aren't empirical either. Now we have the internet. We're looking around going, "Was like, this isn't a joke." There is some veracity and legitimacy to the complaints men have about dating. It's not, "Oh, you didn't get your peen touched and you can't find a girl." Although that's, every girl's gonna give you, "Oh, dude, you just can't get laid. You have a small penis. Are you gay?" What's the other one? Who hurt you? Someone has mommy. That stuff, which in the past maybe, and even today in certain circumstances. But now it's like, no, no, no. There's some serious problems going on here. And so I think TFM, me, everybody else, I think we all agree that the dynamics, the realities of the current dating market, marriage market, whatever, are skewed. Some people would say it's unfair and unjust. I have moved on to, yeah, it is based on old norms. I'm looking at economics evolution and trajectory and looking at it sociologically, I guess, for lack of a better term, like, oh, and I'm like, okay, so it's a new normal. It's not even unethical. It's not like women are just treating men differently because they have different incentives now. It's up to men, unless you guys are going to enslave women, unless you're going to make them no joke property. They're going to do this and you're going to get married. Unless you want to do that, which I don't. This is what they want. And I think society should kind of adjust. Now, you could complain and say, but women wanted that for the longest time in the past. Yeah, well, that isn't these women. The new women now don't want this. So you gotta adjust. And they're really not that interested in dating. And certainly not the average guy. And I think that's what a lot of guys are kind of wrestling with. And if you happen to be short, they're really not interested in you. All I'm trying to do is get ahead of this curve and say, hey, guys, this is where it is. Realize that, make adjustments to your expectations and decisions in life, and even get to the point where it's like, don't get angry at women. This is what they want. Like, you want chocolate ice cream. You don't want strawberry. Kind of look at it from their perspective. If you say, well, I want chocolate, I don't want strawberry, and then like half the population is just screaming at you, and you're like, well, no, I just don't want to have strawberry. All right. Now, maybe that's the whole reason humans existed. And yes, don't worry, there's going to be a cost to this. But what are you going to do? Make them want to have strawberry? I don't know about you. My life is way too short to convince people of things to do something they don't want to do. I never want to be a dictator. I don't want to be any politician or leader at all. Like, what? I don't care. Go do your stupid thing. Oh, Django Geek, $2, 5'4" with a late count of 14 at age 27. Rookie numbers. That's pretty good. That's not bad. That's not rookie numbers, especially today. That's really good. How do they look, though? That's what I want to know. Okay, you're gone. Not you, Django. Not you. Osama Abdu, $2. Your thought on zeitgeist resource-based economy? Oh, that comes from that was from the the Venus Project. That's just Marxism. They just called it a different name. I forget the guy who started the Venus Project. He was an engineer, and they're going to build a fancy self-sustaining community, and we don't need pricing. And it's like, okay, have fun. Look, communism, I don't care what they call it or how they dress it up, what fancy term they give it. When you make everything free and you don't put people like, hey, if you don't work, you starve. If you keep people alive for free and you pay them not to work, they won't. And then there won't be anything produced. It's absolutely fascinating to me that humanity, it's like printing off money. Like, this is kind of a fourth grade concept. And we keep making this mistake over and over again as cultures and societies think, oh, free stuff. Like, don't you think if we could have gotten free stuff, we would have done it by now? Don't you think? I always present that to leftists in the occasional rare case. I said, look, if it was as simple as printing off money, shouldn't there have been some leader back in the day, in the Greek days, the Roman days, the Egyptian days of the thousands of kingdoms and empires that existed? Don't you think someone would have hit on it? Converting lead to gold? Don't you think we say, oh, yeah, you just print off money and you do this thing and then it works? Like, when do you give up on it? But humans are stupid, which is why I'm kind of all for the Democrats lying to their stupid people, their stupid voters. We'll get you the free money this time. And you look at it, and the only consequence that comes out of people who implement Democrat policies, either national, local, or state level, is misery, poverty and misery and a wasted life. And so I just can't. I'm like, okay, have fun with the wasted life. How many people have wasted their lives on even studying this, like the academics? Like the guy who started the Venus Project, I think his wife kind of took it like, look at her. She's this washed up boomer hippie. It's like, wow, God gave you or nature gave you this one life, and you pissed it away being a boomer hippie, believing in communism long after the Reagan era. Are you still pissed off at Reagan? What he did to labor? That's Osama, it'd be the same. Any lie, any pretty lie. All the human lives that were wasted or outright starved to death or murdered because they believed in communism. They believed in not having to work, something for nothing. That's the basic premise. It's the same outcome for these people, for the girls who think big is beautiful. You're never finding a guy. You're never getting married, at least not to a guy you want. And debatably, some women are okay with maybe girls don't want more modernly. They don't want guys. But that's, or believing, my journalism degree, believing any lie. Guys believing that being a nice guy is going to get them. It always ends up in failure. And this is like the rule I always say. If it sounds good, it's a lie. If it's painful and hurts, it's the truth. But at least you take your punch up front. And then if you follow that, you'll do better in life. I don't know. It's someone explained to me in fourth grade level logic how communism works. Just explain it to me, how you're going to get people to show up without putting guns at their heads and threatening them with the gulag. Show me how it's going to work. I don't have Noam Chomsky, have some one of these PhD overeducated putzes with super high IQs. Just explain it to me how this works this time, or how we print off more money, or how we get guys to want to bang fat chicks. Just explain it to me. Give me the ABCs of it, and then maybe I'll start listening. Kyle, 2022 book, Short Men to Women is on a sliding scale. Yeah, it depends on the woman. Look, there's short gals. They'll go out with you, but then there's that guy who's 5'10". Channel 1800, dumb. 2 New Zealand dollars. Get capped to 100,000. You could do it. Block, ignore, ghost. Who's ghost? Is ghost being misbehaving? I don't see him. Everything looks good here. Scrolling. Be Free Asia, $2. Any plans to go abroad and travel outside? Yeah, I'm going to Asia this winter, which I got to go and look up the thing. I got to go and set up travel. I really don't want to do it. But it's going to take a while. Oh, here we go. Let's get rid of that. Oh, T-Rash is in the house. It's always good to have special guest celebrity T-Rash in the house. Anakita smiles, $10. It's the Disney syndrome. A nice hot guy is going to notice me in a crowded room. This is why we can't settle for men. That would probably be fine. I notice it, but it's not easy to undo the brainwashing. Not a problem. I'm sorry, Anakita. I presume you're a woman. You're gonna not be loved. You're not gonna have a husband. You'll forever. Are women really that dumb? You're influenced that simply and completely by Disney movies? Like, you see it on the television, you can't think, like, "Wait a minute." And if women are that weak-minded that a simple Disney movie or the concept of a Disney prince undoes, like, logic or common sense or, like, you see a really good okay. Have fun waiting for Jason Momoa. Hey, Tom Brady's single now, girl. I care, but I really don't care. Like, I'm sorry. Good luck. Um, who's proud? That's not our. Won't men come save us? I mean, no. This isn't. Okay. Wait. Yeah, and I. There's a piece of me, and I am going to do it. I have to do this, so I am alleviated of any guilt or obligation or liability. One of these days when I get the time, I will put together kind of, I don't want to say some dating advice for girls, but it is unfair to lob all women into the modern day feminist Democrat camp. It's unfair. There are some girls who are traditional. Obviously, you're one of them, or at least think independently or more serious or perhaps empirical and critical about finding guys that whereas I kind of dismiss, like, I'm not going to try and reason with women or try and introduce truth or anything like that because they don't want to listen to it. That's wrong. There are some girls, it's a small percentage, but there are some girls out there who do want to be empirical and do want to. And so I guess I do owe it to that small segment of women and some of whom are in this audience. Here it is. Obviously, it won't be anything unknown, but I'll put it together so I could say I did it. Here it is. And now I can move on to other forms where there's going to be progress. But I'll tell you this on Akita. The worst thing for you girls that is prohibiting you from succeeding in nearly all realms of life right now is you refuse to listen to anything you don't want to hear. It is that addiction to the perfect mental state. And I don't mean that because PMS, ha ha ha. I mean it because it's true. It's as addicting to heroin. You girls will simply not give it up. When given the choice between having actual success in the real world, but having to admit there's work involved and it isn't like you think it is, versus giving up the delusion of the perfect mental state, it's almost always you girls will go with the perfect mental state. You'll go with the lie. Oprah made billions off of it. And that thus therefore puts men and any other women who are trying to reason or rationalize with women, hey, here's reality, guy. Now we're wasting our time. I'm literally talking to a tree. I'm literally kicking a boulder. There's no point. I have my own life and my seconds are ticking away. It's not worth the frustration. So think about how ludicrous and stupid it sounds, Anakita. It's a Disney syndrome. A nice hot guy is going to notice me in a crowded room. This is why we can't settle. What? It's out of your control. You're that weak. You're that naive. You're that addicted to the perfect mental state. You can't step back and self-reflect, say, that is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm going to ruin my life believing in such a childish and dumb idea. And a lot of guys who would have otherwise cared, and said, hey, that's and not to mention we're called all sorts of names when we try to introduce the slightest bit of reality into them. Like, well, maybe you should major in STEM and then you close the wage gap. Super hypersonic not our problem, not our circus, not our monkeys. You girls are going to have to solve it yourself. Because no guy's coming to save you now. And even those that do come in, you're not going to listen to them. So effectively, no one's going to come save you. It's going to be up to you girls to figure this out. This is why we can't settle for men that would probably be fine. I notice it, but it's not as easy to undo the brainwashing. Too bad. You know who's got to undo the brainwashing? That girl does. You do. Not my job. And you can pay me $1,000 and I'll tell you, hey, Stop chasing after the 10s that don't want you. Look for that good 8 who makes 60, 70,000 a year, but I'm arguing with the perfect mental state. I'm just a mere mortal. I can't. Someone, not me, who's good in artistic. Someone paint like a Dungeons and Dragons thing where there's this lowly souled warrior or fighter with a sword and his shield, and there's this gigantic monstrous demon called the perfect mental state, and the prince is like, "Save me!" And the guy's like, "F that! I'm gonna go play poker." Oh, hell no. I don't know, Anakita. Do you want to waste your how old are you? Are you 25? Are you 30? How long until you're 40 and quite literally you have no physical beauty left unless you really put the effort into it? How much longer until that door closes and you hit the wall? What percentage of your life has been wasted so far? And here's the other question. I'm being deadly serious. I'm just trying to help. Do you want guys that much? Like, think about this. What is your body telling you that you're not getting wet for the guy who's an 8 or 7.5 and is a reliable accountant? Maybe the brainwashing and programming has become so entrenched, it's not dislodgeable. It's not unlodgeable. It's lodged in there forever. It has become a part of you. And instead of torturing yourself, why worry? Just hold off for your prince, but then also acknowledge, like, man, short men have to, well, maybe I won't get anyone, and be okay with that. Because I've watched it, and it's like, boy, you can't look, guys can't get his soldier to stand up if the girl isn't pretty, he's not physically attracted. And girls, you can't get what if you're not physically attracted? Maybe society has warped it so far that you can no longer find even good-looking men attractive. They have to be excellently attractive men. But why fight it? Spilled milk at this time if they actually somehow rewired it that you will not get hot for a guy unless he's absolutely top-notch. Well, if that's the case, that's a problem you get to wrestle with. I really, unless I'm paid lots of money for my time and just the broken record repeatedness of don't major in dumb stuff, be thin, grow your hair out long, be nice, maybe you'll have to ask a guy out, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, maybe the advice I give girls is gonna be as simple as making chocolate chip cookie. I don't think it's complicated. Maybe I shouldn't even bother with it. Why would I? Maybe it's a pointless for me. Maybe I only should do it for posterity. Say, look, here it is. There's the help. I'm done. I've done my duty. Now be a slave to the perfect mental state. You know what? Maybe maybe there's a very good parallel here. Think about this. Just as porn has warped men's expectations of women, perhaps Disney and the internet, whatever else, modern day society is like men can't they can't get it up unless they got a really unique fix or a thing or fetish. Girls can't get wet unless they got like that perfect little thing. Oh man, the socialist boomers did so great for us all, y'all. I apologize, Anakita. I wish you the best. I really wish you the best, but I I'm 48. I'm gonna go play ball with Ivy the dog. The dog of no, the girl who is so happy to see me, and for $1.74, I could get her 3 tennis balls at Walmart, and will just go, and she never says no to a date. She's excited when I just shake the leash a little bit. I just gets in the car. I'm not waiting for her. Usually I'm slowing her down. Life is too short to wrestle with your demons. We're done. We've hung up our sword. You want my sword? You want my shield? I'm not using it anymore. You go slay your own demons. I'm out of here. Where you going? Don't know, don't care. Hey, a poker game. Pedro Gnomes, €6. High guy to girl height differences. significantly contributes to happier relationship. There's a study on it. Hey, Pedro, can you email it to me? Oh, Pedro Gomes, not Games. Pedro, email that to me. I know there. I wouldn't doubt it. Girls feel safer there. Look, the key to every happy relationship. I know they say happy wife, happy life. The girls just got to really like you and dote on you and do what like. There has to be a submission. There has to be, not in a slave ownership type of way, but she's just happy to be with you. Like Ivy the dog. And then she dotes. It's like, what do you want? Blah, blah, blah. And she's literally happy to be with you. Well, girls can't biologically be happy to be with a guy if he's short. Or it's hard. Okay. Like, so sad. There's some really, like, I look at Vlad Elkins. How many girls passed that guy up? How many girls passed that guy up? And okay, is he 6'7" and Conan the Barbarian? No, but he's a good guy, not a nice guy. He's a good guy. He's funny. He's intelligent. Oh no, we can't have that. Oh no, he just makes money and he's too short. And it's like, what? Really? Listening to whatever your soap operas are. All right. Waiting for Jesus to come a second time, huh? All right. Guys, look, the entertainment we get is to watch these girls, hate to say it, waste their lives. I don't think they are in their mind wasting their lives. They're making their own choice. But you kind of look at them like, what about this love thing and the family and sex and I agree. I don't think they really want that. Well, certainly they don't based on action and behavior. But they're going to get to the point they're going to realize, well, wait, what is there? What if not that? No one taught me that when I was younger. I thought it was like money and, not necessarily things, but having fun and going out and partying and having a good time. It wasn't until like I saw everyone just die off. I'm like, oh, that's what it is to fall in love with other people. Have kids if you wanted to have kids. But I picked up on that relatively early. Man, you girls have been told that it's all you, for lack of a better description. Like it's all go out and career and party and what was it? It was probably the most damaging bit of culture ever made. Sex in the City. That was it. That was the goal. And then here you are to bargain with at 53. Like, I want to sell. Like, what did you think it was for? Oh, I cut out there. All right. Scrolling. Shark Toss, 20 generous dollars. Cap, I want to promote the book, The Virtue of Selfishness by Anne Rand Men, but I need the Cappy seal of approval. One of my favorite quotes from it is, facts are altered by a wish, but they can be destroyed, but they can destroy the wisher. But boom, she hit it. Yeah. Obviously people before me had these thoughts as well. You could promote it, sure. I don't want to read it. If you think movie reviews are expensive, wait till you have me do a book review. Oh my God. Yeah, no, you're right, T-Rash. You are right. Keith Cornelia. Yeah, I'm a combat veteran, work in healthcare, no debt, make over 6 figures. These women aren't any kind of good judge of character or ambition. I just find it funny now. Yeah, you do have to kind of like just stand aside and like, all right, look, you weren't raised by a father. You weren't raised by your mother. You were raised by a combination of the state, the public schools, a college, and media. And this is what happens. And I don't know, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of standing in the way of the train. I think we should all get our folding chairs, set it up outside right where the bridge goes up at the train tracks, get ourselves a big old bag of popcorn and just watch it fly right off. And for posterity's sake, for humor, just to say, We should send somebody up. Hey, go grab Bobby. What's he? He's fast. He's short and fast and scrappy. Get him. Hey, Bobby, take this sign, this big ass sign, put it 3 miles down the railroad track. So they got more than enough time to stop the train, saying bridge out up ahead. Just put it up there so we know. So it makes it even more entertaining when the train doesn't slow down, probably speeds up. They're probably giving us the finger as they go by, calling us patriarchy people or misogynists. They're yelling and screaming with the vitriolic hatred. They don't even know they're going. They're like Gollum with the ring, dying and being melted in the volcano. Their hatred of men and the patriarchy is as powerful as Gollum's addiction was to the ring. They don't realize they're going down. What'd you do your entire life? I hated men and fought the patriarchy. Why? You, you didn't have any ice cream. You didn't go for walks. You didn't go fly a kite. You didn't go swimming. You did nothing else in your life but this. You had all this fun stuff you could have done. You could have had love. You could have had children. You could have had family, tradition, dinners, sitting down, laughing, love, care, children's hugs. No. You fought the patriarchy. You got a master's degree. And you stuck it to the patriarchy because you died with student loan debt, so you didn't have to pay it back. Oh, winning, such a victory. Take the W. Bye. Here comes another train. Should we put another sign up? Nah, it takes too much energy. It's going to be another hour before the next train. Let's play some poker. Woo, woo. Hey, here comes another one. All right, gather up the folding chairs. Yeah, we know you hate us. Yeah, no. Kaboom. Precious. Oh. Justin Brink, $5. What movie would you want to review? Maybe top 3. It's up to you. You're the one that be paying. I don't want to just review my favorite movie. It'd be Die Hard. And I don't think we need a review of that. Why don't you pick some that's interesting? Send me a list. Here, Justin, email me, send me a list. I'll try and find one that I've seen before, and it's not too painful, or something that sounds good or I maybe want to watch. And then I could give you a discount because maybe I already know what I would say about it. Give me like a list of 10. There's got to be some crossover there. It's you're the one paying. It should be your movie you wanted reviewed, not me. Logan Donovan, $5. Cappy, I'm 5'9". I have to say a vast majority of them are shorter. It's certainly not tall, but not super, 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 super short either. Vast majority of them are shorter. You mean the men or the women? Most women are shorter than 5'9". Yeah, in the United States. 5'9", when I was growing up, I was a guy. When I was a thing, 5'9" was average. That was the average American height. Now, it might be a little shorter because people are getting taller. But even then, it was... the girls really, they do. This isn't a joke. This isn't black pill. It's true. Women demand shorter men or taller men. The shortness is equal to the fatness. Men's shortness is equal to women's fatness, except we can't control it. Think about that. How delusional. Just think about, just to show you how far ahead we are, guys. Okay, just be happy you got your sanity. Has it ever dawned on you to blame the matriarchy and social engineering to say that women were conditioned to like tall guys and that we're going to waste our lives trying to shame women and the liking short guys? Have you ever thought that has your life had nothing else going on? Has your life been so void of purpose and meaning you decide, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go on the internet and shame women for liking tall guys. Have you ever thought, I have too much to do. I have way too much to do. Me, Mike, $2. Perfect mental state. PMS, not edgy as we giggle. When I was writing that, I was trying to. Ryan Stone influenced this. Go read his book, The Fook Files. I was reading it, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's on." That's what it is. But he came at it from a different angle, and I was like, It's exactly like how they find, say, a black hole, because a black hole doesn't let light escape it, although you can have an accretion disk. But if it's just a black hole, you can't see it because light does not escape it. There's nothing to tell you it's there. And so what astronomers, people who study space, they look at suns and stars that orbit a certain thing. And they say, well, what are the stars orbiting around? There's no mass there. Oh, the only thing that would do that is a black hole. And so that's how they identify black holes, is not by seeing the black hole itself, but seeing other things rotate around it, that because of Newtonian physics, like, oh, it's got to be super massively dense. And this is kind of the same thing. You see all this behavior and you're like, I can't see it. What is it? There's some there. We got all this circumstantial evidence. There is some there. What is it? And then it was through observing the orbiting data, the phenomena, the stuff happening. I'm like, that's what it is. It's the only thing that could explain it. They want and are addicted to and will not accept anything but the perfect mental state. Here is an 8.2 guy. He's 6'1". He's I'm trying to think what's a reputable, perfectly fine career. He is a business analyst at a large established firm. He has a house and he's in pretty good. He's an 8.1. You think, okay, that'll get you to nope. And you're like, why? Why? What am I missing? You're missing this gigantic black hole of gravity and mass called the perfect mental state. It's not good enough. They accept nothing but perfection. And if they don't get perfection, they will not take action. And they would rather die taking no action their entire lives than take action on something that is not perfect. Of course, not all girls, but that, if you understand that, that's going to explain a lot of the behavior and the orbiting that's going on. You're like, oh, perfection or nothing. They will take perfection in their own little mental world, which is not the real world, versus damn good they will settle for perfection in their mind before they settle for damn good in the real world. It's true. Anakita is 27. I don't know, Anakita. Look, Anakita, are you good looking? Send me a couple pictures. I might have a guy. If I say, God, guys, remember that disaster when I tried to do like Cappy dating? And like there were several girls, they email like, I'd like to meet this guy. I'm like, okay, here he is. Like all of them except Chad got stood up. They all flaked on the guy. It's like, oh, go F yourselves. Just go F yourselves. There was this one guy, a God bleep it, 10. A 10. He's a literal hero. I've talked about this guy. He's good. He's tall. He's jacked. He's good looking. He's charming. He's funny. Got a great job. He is a hero. He did a heroic thing, which we can't talk about because the things. But I'm like, it doesn't get better. It doesn't. Here he is, a modern day civilian Tom Brady. Girl still stood him up. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done. Heaven help you if you're 5'5". That was where I was like, oh, okay, I know. Here's my sword. Here's my shield. You slay the dragon. I'm playing poker. JJ Lovecraft. But yeah, Anakita, if you're interested, let me know. I'm not setting you up, though, if you're going to flake on him. I'm not. $5. Like at this point, everyone knows women don't even like men that like that. Yeah, I know. Boku Development, $5, 5'7", 27 years old, agent in the field here, blessed with pretty boy genes and looking young, 100 plus matches on Tinder and success with hot chicks. Well, what, you laid 100 gals? That's good. Very good. I mean, it's not impossible. I'm not saying it's impossible. There's another. Did I get the $20 one already? Oh, 1,800 done, $5. The Ultimate Red Pill song was written in the late 60s by Zoso Cappy. Few people know it. Enigmatic and New Zealand agent in the field. All right, I don't know. Trent, $5. The community may have warped me, but after divorce at 45, I don't care to even try to start something with a chick. It's all red flags. Yeah, after a while, you're gonna. This is where I really like this book, not because I wrote it, but when you put numbers to it, you're like, okay, I'm not. Well, for me, when I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, this isn't BS. What we're witnessing is mathematically happening. This is not just womans. Those wascally womans. There has been a fundamental change in how women have approached men and have an interest in men. And so, if it ever you think like, oh, am I being too harsh? Take this book, read it. Yeah, of course, naturally, there's a lot of people who go way too far the other. Oh, women because they're women. And I was like, no, you have to leave. There obviously are girls, and we have Jennifer Hartnett and the gals. There are, but there's just so few. But you're not imagining it. It's not. I don't make the red pill community would not be as big as it was if women were just on the up and up with us and told us what was going. Like if it did run totally contradictory to what our biological evolutionary history has programmed us and conditioned. Look, we were programmed a certain way, right? 200,000, 2 million years human evolution, however you want to. And all of a sudden, splat, we're right into a wall. It's like, I don't think our genetics were wrong. Something's different. Hey, someone put a wall here. What the hell's happening? Here we are. SR, 20 generous dollars. When people tell me being shorter than most women doesn't affect my life, I laugh in leper. Leper? Is that a language? I have 40 years experience that says otherwise. Right. You will have, if you try hard enough, you will have success. It is an economics question. Is the effort worth it? That's the question. Shameless Dab, 2.05. If you do cappy dating, then make it so the woman has to come to the man. Ensure the women invest their time or money before you set them up. Well, I don't really control that. I just kind of email them and like, here you guys go. Usually I get a picture from the guy and the girl and make sure they're like, yeah, I find him physically attractive. I'm like, here you go. But one guy, like I think hour and a half away, and she canceled on him. What I really ought to do is require videos like, hi, I'm a real girl. Yes, I do. Not like a picture. Because who knows? I'm not requiring that of the men because I'm like, no, I know this guy. He exists. Here's his picture. We want a video of you. Full body shot. We want to know whether you got kids or not. None of this. Men are done wasting their time. That it? Are we caught up? I think we're caught up. That's it. All right. That was a long one. That was a long consultation. I'll turn this into a podcast. Sunny out. Maybe I can go and drive into town and get some food. That's it. Get the books below. Ladies, I guess I'll come up with the dating thing later. I'll head banging advice. Head against the wall advice. We'll see you guys later, Toodles.